Three things cannot long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Desire to have things done quickly prevents their being done thoroughly. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. The way you cut your meat reflects the way you live. To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is a disgrace. Roads were made for journeys, not destinations. We should feel sorrow, but not sink under its oppression. What you do not wish upon yourself, extend not to others. Learn as if you were not reaching your goal, and as though you were scared of missing it. To practice 5 things under all circumstances constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. To understand yourself is the key to wisdom. First, there must be order and harmony within your own mind. Then this order will spread to your family, then to the community, and finally to your entire kingdom. Only then can you have peace and harmony. When anger rises, think of the consequences. A lack of patience in trifling matters might lead to the disruption of great projects. Straight forwardness, without the rules of propriety, becomes rudeness. Love is like a spice. It can sweeten your life, however, it can spoil it, too. The true gentleman does not preach what he practices, till he has practiced what he preaches. It is man that makes truth great, not truth that makes man great. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. The journey with a 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. Learn avidly. Question it repeatedly. Analyze it carefully. Then put what you have learned into practice intelligently. Base yourself in loyalty and trust. Don't be a companion with those who are not your moral equal. When you make a mistake, don't hesitate to correct it. Anyone can find the switch after the lights are on. Sincerity is that whereby self-completion is effected, and its way is that by which man must direct himself. One joy dispels 100 cares. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. A lion chased me up a tree, and I greatly enjoyed the view from the top. Study the past, if you would divine the future. Can there be a love which does not make demands on its object? He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. If you try to do too much, you will not achieve anything. True goodness springs from a man's own heart. All men are born good. You can successfully force people to follow a certain course, but you cannot force them to understand it. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. The superior man is satisfied and composed. The mean man is always full of distress. Do not let a leader lead you on a bad path. When you see a good person, think of becoming like her, him. When you see someone not so good, reflect on your own weak points. Music produces a kind of pleasure which human nature cannot do without. Ah, music, sacred tongue of God, I hear thee calling and I come. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. They must often change who would remain constant in happiness and wisdom. Knowing something is not as good as liking it. Liking something is not as good as rejoicing in it. Be not ashamed of mistakes, and thus make them crimes. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. I slept and dreamt life is beauty. I woke and found life is duty. No matter how busy you may think you are, you must find time for reading, or surrender yourself to self-chosen ignorance. When wealth is centralized, the people are dispersed. When wealth is distributed, the people are brought together. There are 3 degrees of filial piety. The highest is being a credit to our parents. The second is not disgracing them. The lowest is being able simply to support them. To be wronged is nothing, unless you continue to remember it. To be truly happy and contented, you must let go of what it means to be happy or content. Only the wisest and stupidest of men never change. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbor's roof when your own doorstep is unclean. Let the states of equilibrium and harmony exist in perfection, and a happy order will prevail throughout heaven and earth, and all things will be nourished and flourish. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. A youth is to be regarded with respect. How do we know that his future will not be equal to our present? I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals. Adjust the action steps. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. Study without reflection is a waste of time. Reflection without study is dangerous. I want you to be everything that's you, deep at the center of your being. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. By nature, men are nearly alike. By practice, they get to be wide apart.